We're gonna start. Welcome to the Niagara Host, company #1 Champlain Fire Department Banquet. Before we start eating, Lynn's ahead of us here a little bit. Before we start eating, we're going to do dinner first, and then we'll make the introductions and have fun after. So if everybody can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can you stand for a moment of silence for department members? Okay, and Patty, where's Patty? She just came back from the conclave, electing the Pope, so it's going to be a blessing.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Dear Lord, thank you for the gathering. Thank you for each one of these individuals that serves our community. Today we celebrate the firemen and the auxiliaries and anybody that helps with that. We thank you for that. We also thank you for the meal we're about to receive in Christ's name. Amen.
Okay, when we get ready, we'll have somebody from the Knights of Columbus start your tables and go from there. I'm sitting here, so we'll probably start here first.
Probably your MC.
Thank you, Flash. Thank you, Flash. Okay. All right, you guys all ready? Good to show on the road? All right, first thing we got to do is get Scott out here and thank the Knights of Columbus for, I think, a pretty darn good dinner. Hey, that's Bart, right here. Excellent job. Okay, special guest. We're going to start, we're going to kind of keep this loose a little bit. Special guest, who's the most important special guest? Tomorrow is our mother, so before I forget, let's give a big round to all the mothers here. Now we gotta wait. All right, that was your Mother's Day dinner, by the way. All right, we're going to do some introductions, so again, keep it loose. I might forget somebody. Niagara Host, started with Niagara Host, who made this all possible, and the committee. Started with President Todd Jarvis and Sally, who do a ton of work all year round. But who else is on your committee? Todd, Caleb, and Blake. Good job, guys. Niagara Host, Vice President Dave Blitz and Ella are here. Trustee Shane Brink and Pam, or Trustee Treasurer. Secretary Mary Dupree and Larry. All right, elected officials in your territory, in the village of Champlain, in the town, our mayor, Janet McCracken. Yeah, you can say it from here. Oh, you want to speak?
She's ready. Well, normally Chris puts me on the spot, and I'm not ready.
Very good.
So, on behalf of the Village of Champlain Board of Trustees, I extend sincere appreciation for all you do in and for our community. You know, it's easy to say thank you, but as soon as you have a personal connection, that gratitude goes a lot deeper. Years ago, and some of you older folks might remember this. No, it's a good thing. I was a new resident in the Village of Champlain, and I didn't know very many people. One frigid January night, with my husband away at a meeting, my 7-year-old son said he could smell smoke in the house. 8 months pregnant, I ran as best I could throughout the building, seeing no flames or smoke, but clearly the odor was getting stronger. I went outside to look at the exterior, and then I saw the flames coming out from the lower part of the back of the house. There was a fire. I called 911, and you were there immediately, doing what you've been trained to do, professionally and courageously. I have to tell you that your calmness made us all feel safe. And I will never forget your kindness. Please know that your dedication means everything to our little community. Your selflessness and commitment is evident every day. You make us proud. The sacrifices your family make to share you with us does not go unnoticed. You were always at local events, from Trunk or Treat to Village Fest to delivering Santa every year, and that's pretty important. We know we can count on you to be by our side in times of need and in times of celebration. We offer you gratitude and respect for your protection and compassion towards the community. You prove that heroes walk among us. Thank you so very much.
Remember when Clark had us flood that ice rink? I just thought about that. The village wouldn't even allow us to do that while we were guys. No, don't bring her up. Some more introductions. Again, I hope I don't forget anybody. Our people that do our elections, our election tellers, I think we call them. Gloria, Tatro, and Marie. Trustees for the town or village of Champlain. Kim Trombley and her beautiful husband Tom. And now the town of Champlain, Tom Trombley and his beautiful wife Kim.
Thanks for recognizing Chris.
Yeah.
Afterwards? Okay. All right, so I guess right now it's, we're going to have some awards to give out later at the end. I thought I was doing that now.
Nope.
Janet beautifully said, yes, the town board greatly appreciates each and every one of you in this room. I personally extend my gratitude for the amount of time that you have to put into doing this job. It's not just being courageous, it's the amount of time you give of yourselves, of your family, when you have to leave, and God, not even to mention all the training you have to go through. So it takes a special person to be in these positions, and we really appreciate that. I also want to applaud you on your new fire station. It's looking absolutely beautiful. I was lucky enough to have a tour after a meeting about maybe 3-4 weeks ago, and it's coming along beautifully. We have a meeting there Monday. I'm anxious to see the progress because with the amount of trade workers in there, it's got to be amazing what they've done in the last month. And hopefully, July, August or so, we'll have a grand opening. I can't wait to do that. That's gonna be a fun day. But thanks to all of you, this is happening, right? Without you working this department, we wouldn't have gotten the community to vote for this, to move forward. So I think it speaks volumes. The community appreciates you, loves you, and we applaud your service every day. The fire department hooked me up with your announcing system on my phone.
Oh, I am responding.
I am responding, thank you. I couldn't think of the name of it. So in the last 2 years, I see the number of calls that come in, and I am amazed. And I'm ashamed to say, a lot of times it's when I get up in the morning and look at my phone, there have been 2 calls through the night. And of course my phone's silenced, and I didn't hear it, but I always think of you guys like you're out all the time. Sometimes it's, fuel spills, it's gas smells, and then occasionally horrible accidents and horrible fires. And my heart goes out to you. I know you've had a couple bad ones this past year that I'm sure was tough to deal with. I prayed for you, and God bless you for what you do. Thank you.
Area 1 legislator and Chief Financial Officer of Hometown Cable, Calvin Castine. Calvin?
I think we're all looking forward to that grand opening this summer of the new facility. We're hoping that the new building will help even more to increase your numbers. We see a lot of new faces here, but I know there's no more waiting list than any fire department. So we applaud the people who are joining the fire department, putting in all the time in that training and willing to be on call 24/7. It's an amazing thing for the community. When I was going to school at St. Mary's, which is no longer there, as a grade school student, one of the things that the nuns would do was have you draw a picture of what you're going to be when you're an adult, and a good number of those guys had firemen on that list, and some of them actually did do that. As we came in, we saw a slideshow showing some of the history and the future of the fire department. Earlier today, I looked back at a video. If I said June 6, 1987, most of you here would say it was before I was born. But some of you, like Deadeye back there, would know that that was the dedication day of the current fire station. And I looked at that video, and so many of those people are no longer here. The priest who opened it as an invocation was Father Tim Susi. St. Patrick's Choir with Ruth Laternal was there to entertain the crowd. Leroy Cookman was the MC. Earl Parsons was the mayor. Bruce Barcombe was the fire chief. Gerald Mayo was there as part of the people working to raise funds for the fire department. Ken LaPlante was the head of the rescue. George Cookman was there representing Legion Post Force 767, which also is no longer there. Leo Laternal was the town supervisor. Larry Paquette was the county legislator. Phil and Ruth Strack were there. And one of the Village of Champlain's all-time favorite people, Floyd LaFountain, was there in that picture too. So it brings back a lot of memories, but it also shows that all these people were irreplaceable, but they're all gone now. So you've got to fill those shoes and fill the shoes of the people who are sitting here right now that are irreplaceable, because what you're doing has got to go on into the future, and hopefully the numbers are going to increase. And we applaud you for what you're doing, and thank you all.
Thank you, Calvin. Thank you, Judy. And like you guys said, you know, they record so much of our history, which doesn't seem like a lot back then. But then you start watching, you start seeing people that are no longer with us. It takes on a whole new meaning. So thank you, Calvin. Our county coroner, Chad and Heather are here. So Chad, thanks for coming. I wish you best at the election, but I hope you lose because you're probably the best coroner we've ever had. Mutual aid departments, from Ross's Point Fire. Oh, by the way, JP wanted me to announce we do have a standby crew at the station for Moore's. Hopefully they didn't bring the red trucks, but I'm sure they did, so it'll be all right. But from our mutual aid department, Sean Curley LeBombard from Ross's Point, who we're working better with than any time I can ever imagine. But Sean LeBombard, Assistant Chief from Ross's Point. Past chiefs, JP and I are struggling with this one. JP Fillion, past chief, and current chief, and myself. usually there's a lot more past chiefs than that, so it goes back to what Calvin said. We don't have a lot of past chiefs that some of us are doing 2 and 3 year terms, and hopefully that'll change. Fire commissioners, Woody and Beth couldn't be here. Myself and Mary, Stacy is here. Nikki, our bartender. Dale, I don't think Carol's here. Dale Tatro. And of course, the most important person, Tammy, our administrator, secretary, a bunch of titles, and David. So thank you guys for being here. And Todd.
What's up, Todd?
You got so many titles I can't keep track. I'm sorry. Todd and Sally. All right, Chief's address, and then we'll get into the auxiliary after.
Hello. I'm just kidding. Nobody's in trouble. So, as I was thinking about what to say tonight, this afternoon, while I was in the garage working on Grandpa's old bulldozer, it occurred to me that this is the last time I'm going to do this as the fire chief.
For now.
For now.
Bite your tongue. You get a break for a year.
For anybody that doesn't know, several years back we implemented a 4-year term limit on the position of fire chief. Anybody who's done this job knows that it's a tough job, and it takes a lot of effort, takes a lot out of you, and it's a big burden on the families. So recognizing that, we made the decision that a fire chief will do the job for 4 years and then take a break for at least a year. So this is year number 4 for me. So I wanted to talk about our accomplishments over those 4 years. And the first thing that I wanted to mention was by far my favorite part of doing this job was working with our board of commissioners. We worked on budget stuff, we worked on projects, we tackled some tough questions, some tough situations, and I think we did a lot of good together. And I absolutely appreciate the time that I've spent working with you guys. And I'd like to ask for a little round of applause for our commissioners. When I started this job a few years ago, my dad reminded me of something that he believed. He always said that during his time as fire chief in Ross's Point, he accomplished maybe 25% of what he set out to accomplish. And he considered that a success. So I had a lot of ideas, I had a lot of thoughts and plans and dreams, but there were 2 things that I considered most important when I first started. Number 1, I wanted to make the full 4 years. That was a goal that I set for myself. And everybody who knows me on a personal level knows that it's been a tough few years, but we did it. We're here. But I think even more important than that, I set out to try to create a culture of empowerment for our junior officers and our members. Several years ago, I had the honor of meeting the past fire chief from the Phoenix Fire Department, Alan Brunacini. And Chief Brunacini had a very radical idea about how to manage a fire department. And his idea was to empower the membership, from the newest probie to the guy who's retiring tomorrow, to make tough decisions and run their own show, and do it while being nice. And, you know, getting to know Chief Brunacini and, you know, having these conversations with him, it stuck with me. So when we started out, it started small, with handing out some jobs and asking officers to take on jobs that normally would have been done by the chief. And from there it grew, sometimes out of necessity because I was tangled up with other personal things. And sometimes just because people actually started asking, can I do this job? And as I look around the room now, almost everybody in here that's a member has a project or a job or a responsibility that they can call their own. And I think that's the biggest success that we've had in the last 4 years. And, you know, in trying to accomplish that, my hope was that I could leave this position maybe a little bit better than I found it. And whoever's going to be standing here next year, I hope that I help to make your job a little easier. So thank you for 4 amazing years, and yeah, good luck to whoever's up here next year.
You're up, Sally. Don, I'm sorry. I had you listed as commissioner. I'm sorry.
You know, you're not supposed to go way that way, but.
Yeah.
Wait, you like that color?
You don't need a mic. Okay.
I've got enough mouth.
Be nice to her.
I am.
We all wore white pants just for you, so you need to be nice to her tonight.
1988. Todd's sitting in the back of the Han,
Oh, my.
and we're there. And we had a call, and it was, I think we got cancer or something. And Todd had a really white look on his face, and he didn't look right.
I'm on the phone to call.
And I said, "You all right?" I said, "What's going on today?" He's like, "Well, I gotta do this, that, and I'm getting married today."
I couldn't have to, I had to go to St. Mary's for breakfast.
Yeah.
And she wore white that day too, right, Todd? Is that when you're a fetish with white?
But I've
scarf?
never seen 2 people that love each other so much and love the fire department just as much, so. That should make up for that's your Mother's Day present, Sally.
All right, introduction of my office. Can you hear me? Okay.
Speaking
I'm
of
Sally Jarvis, the
what did you
president.
say?
Be quiet. My vice president is Lori Brink. My treasurer is Natasha Nevius.
Now we're way up.
So as you know, we are all volunteers, and we have volunteers that are not part of our auxiliary that we would like to acknowledge. This woman has helped us tremendously at quite a few of our breakfasts, and we would really like to acknowledge her tonight, and that is Kenna Dumas.
Thank you, Kenna.
We truly appreciate you volunteering every year.
Sorry.
But I will continue. Next year, white pants.
Yeah, next year we're
Well, thank you, guys. So next on the agenda is service awards. So I have Lori Brink with 10 years of service. Jim Brink with 10 years of service. And I have myself as 20 years of service. Our next award is the Auxiliary Person of the Year.
And just remember, there is a speech with this when you are presented with it, okay? To whoever receives this. You have to give us a nice long speech.
Yeah.
Just an FYI, okay?
Thank you.
So what is a volunteer? A volunteer who does something especially helping others, willingly and without being forced or paid to do it. This year's auxiliary person has joined a few years ago. Since then, she has been very active at fire calls, our pancake breakfast, our men's monthly meeting cooking. We do have to cook for the men at their meetings.
Yeah.
We thank you for being a part of our auxiliary team. Our 2024 Auxiliary Person of the Year award goes to the one and only Michelle Lapone.
leave her house. She does not like to be in a crowd of people or anything else. So in the last 2 years, she has come out of her comfort zone, especially with the pancake breakfast having to deal with everybody. So thank you, Michelle. Oh, I have mine.
That's it.
That's it.
We're a small group, Chris.
They're a small group, but guys, thanks for everything you do, and not just, you know, doing the monthly dinners and everything you do at the meetings, but all the stuff you do on the side. I've never seen the auxiliary, I shouldn't say that, but when I started, the auxiliary was very, very active, but,
Just call us Smiley.
and they, you guys have really picked it up again, and we all appreciate that, so,
We
good
enjoy it.
job.
Thank you.
Good job. Tom, you want to do your awards? Presentations? Yeah, Mary, you gotta go up. Yeah, you gotta accept for it.
You can come up after.
Come on.
And receive it. So, both these gentlemen are here tonight. But what this is about is, I guess feels like it's a year and a half or so ago, JP, when we started this. This endeavor was this initiative was brought to my attention of all the, and not just by them. I want to thank Sean too, because Sean's very responsible of all the issues we had with dry fire hydrants. And as you know, in a town this size, those dry hydrants are critical. Take Point of Fair, for example. If we didn't have a dry hydrant out there that was operable, they're running to Rouse's Point to a hydrant or running to Cooperville to hopefully get out of the river. So they're critical. So with this initiative, we said, you know what, we got to fix them. And I want to thank the fire department, the fire commissioners, etc., because it was a joint effort. This wasn't just the fire department paying for everything, the town paying for everything. We worked together. We each budgeted money. And what I'm here tonight to do is to recognize two people that volunteered their time that really made this possible. Because you got to remember, these hydrants are underwater. The inlets, the screens, where most of the problems are underwater. They needed to be either repaired or at the very least inspected and cleaned. So with all that said, the town board wants to recognize these two gentlemen, and we greatly appreciate their services. So resolution number 17 of 2025, commending Mr. Bill Obrey for his generous service to the town of Champlain and the Champlain Fire District. Whereas in the summer of 2023, the town of Champlain and Champlain Fire District entered into a shared initiative to repair and/or replace the number of failing dry hydrants serving the residents of the town of Champlain. And whereas Mr. Bill Obrey, as a certified underwater diver, provided the essential skills to inspect and repair the suction screens and/or intake pipes emerge in the waterways of our dry hydrants. And whereas, without Bill's expertise and generosity, the town and fire district would not have been able to budget for or complete the required repairs on all of our dry hydrants within a short period of 2 summers, additionally saving vital taxpayer dollars. And whereas Bill is commended for his charitable service, his dedication to the town of Champlain and the Champlain Fire District, and his overall commitment to serving his community. And be it therefore resolved that the present board of the town of Champlain go on public record commending Mr. Bill Obrey for his devotion to serving his community and the contribution of his time and professional skills. And be it further resolved that this resolution is adopted by the town of Champlain Town Board on the 6th day of May 2025, and a copy sent to Mr. Obrey by the town clerk. And it is signed by myself, supervisor, Brian Moore, council member, Rick Hunter, council member, Jason Borey, council member, Dorothea Southwick, council member, and town clerk Julie Cassidy. And And Mary will be accepting the award for Bill because he was unable to attend, and I'm sure you'll get it to him. I know. Next, we have resolution number 18 of 2025, commending Mr. Scott Blondo for his generous service to the town of Champlain and the Champlain Fire District. Whereas in the summer of 2023, the town of Champlain and Champlain Fire District entered into a shared initiative to repair and or replace the number of failing dry hydrants serving the residents of the town of Champlain. And whereas Mr. Scott Blondo, as a certified underwater diver, provided the essential skills to inspect and repair the suction screens and or intake pipes emerged in the waterways of our dry hydrants. And whereas without Scott's expertise and generosity, the town and the fire district would not have been able to budget for or complete the required repairs on all of our dry hydrants within a short period of 2 summers, additionally saving vital taxpayer dollars. And whereas Scott is commended for his charitable service, his dedication to the town of Champlain and the Champlain Fire District, and his overall commitment to serving his community, and be it therefore resolved that the present board of the town of Champlain go on public record commending Mr. Scott Blondo for his devotion to serving his community and the contribution of his time and professional skills, and be it further resolved that this resolution is adopted by the town of Champlain board on this 6th day of May 2025, and a copy sent to Mr. Blondo by the town clerk. Again, signed by myself, Supervisor, Brian Moore, Rick Hunter, Jason Bory, Dorothea Southwick, all council members, and Julie Castine, town clerk. And Scott, too, could not be here tonight, but his good neighbor is going to receive the award and see that he gets it. Thank you, Richard. That's all. I'm real happy that all these hydrants are operable now, and we're going to keep them that way.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Tom, for all your support. That was almost a 2-year project. We almost made it 2 years, but pretty impressive dry hydrants now, and we found all kinds of things that we didn't know was going on. But it's like anything else, you got to maintain it. But Tom, thank you for your continued support on that project and some other ones too. The new fire station, I was going to give an update on that, but the groundbreaking was, what's today, the 10th? 10th? The groundbreaking, I just noticed it when we did that PowerPoint. The 1-year anniversary for the groundbreaking is on Tuesday. So it's pretty cool. I just had that in my notes. Length of service awards, we don't really have any length of service awards here. It's kind of an oddball year. Tom and Calvin and a bunch of people asked us about, we do have a lot of people with a lot of years in here, but everybody's at an oddball year, so we're going to skip that. Chiefs Award and Firefighter of the Year, so JP and Todd.
You do the talk and I'll do the gift.
Todd's a shy, quiet guy. Always has been.
Who likes white pants? Big flowers.
So the Chiefs Award, an award that we instituted several years ago, it's intended to recognize somebody that has done something a little bit extra special. To help out the officers, help out the chief. Not necessarily somebody that's gone so far above and beyond in order to get the big award of Firefighter of the Year, but somebody that's really stood out and done something exceptional. And this year, I think I can say that this award is about growth. The award's going to an individual who been with us for quite a while, a younger member, somebody who I guess sort of thought things happened magically overnight and quickly and easily. And we all go through that when we're new members of the fire department. We come in with big dreams and we think everything should happen in our time and happen quickly and get done yesterday. And we learn over time that it takes a lot of hard work to get projects done. And I watched this young individual this year take on some fairly significant projects. And I think he learned that things don't happen overnight. And I think he learned that...
Time's up. Time's up.
I think he learned that things take time, and I think he learned some lessons about patience. And in the process, this young man grew a lot. And a lot of members have told me that they've seen this young man grow. And this past year, this guy used to drive me absolutely crazy. What are we gonna, what are we gonna, what are we gonna do? How do we do this? When are we gonna do this? Why haven't we done this yet? And this year, he made some major accomplishments, and I am really, really proud to hand this award to Caleb Trombley.
Give us a speech.
I definitely have learned that things don't come easy. With the iPads was a big wake-up call. It just gives me more respect for the officers above me, JP, Matt, Jared, Joe, and everybody before me that's taken the time to do projects that are 10 times the size that I've ever done. Things don't happen in a day, especially with the commissioners and going through their process and our process. Not that it's a bad thing, it just takes some time, and it takes a lot of time out of your life. And so I also want to thank the families too, the families that their significant other, or their son or their daughter, or their mother or their father, just take time out of their day to fulfill the projects that we have. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'll take that. I've had to deal with it longer than you guys.
Just like you though, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
He's a spinning.
I just told that story the other day. Yeah, Dale duct tape.
So the next award, our junior program. It's the kind of thing that sort of ebbs and flows over the years. Sometimes we have a lot of juniors, sometimes we only have one. Right now, we've got a pretty good crew of junior firefighters. These young men and women, they're high school students, ages 16 to 18, and they come and work with us. They get to run fire calls with us. They've got limits, but they're an important part of our culture. They're an important part of our future. Getting people on board when they're young, it's critical to our well-being as an organization. And this year, we have enough juniors on board that we were able to select a Junior Firefighter of the Year. This young man has just been a phenomenal part of our organization. Anything he's asked to do, he does it. And he does it with a positive attitude, and he's somebody that we can just give a project to and know that it's going to get done and done well. And again, I'm honored to be able to hand this plaque to Jackson Baker.
Honestly, I wasn't. I'll thank JP and Todd, and honestly, I couldn't have done it without all the members that we have. I mean, I ain't really got nothing to say. I wasn't expecting any of it. But just a thank you to all the members, especially my father. Without him, I would have never got into the fire department. It would have never been a thought that I would have had. So watching him over the years kind of threw a spark, and I couldn't wait for 16 to hit so I could join and be a part of an agency. And once again, I couldn't have done it without any of you guys. Thank you.
you guys are doing this, I told you to forget somebody. The most important people too. Our first assistant chief, and Don, Jared Baker, and Don, both call her Baker. Jared and Don. Don just graduated from her Halloween. I took a recertification class for an EMT. Since then, Dawn has achieved advanced life support, and she just got her certificate to be a paramedic just a few weeks ago. So congratulations, Dawn. Joe, our second assistant chief, Joe Delaire, covering the Coopersville area and beyond, Station 3. And Abby, where's Joe? He's just like Cooperville, he's on the other end, so. Joe, and of course, Matt last year was our second assistant chief, and Mary does a lot for the department, so sorry to forgot you guys, but thank you guys for all you do, and it's nice, I can tell you, as a coordinator, a deputy coordinator, and as a past chief, it's nice to hear you guys get on. Like today, we had a pretty big incident going on. It was nice just to get out of there and turn it over to you guys, or just hear you guys, and you're cool, calm, and collective. You do good work, so. One of them want to be fire chief down the road, right? There you go. Thanks, guys.
Okay, and last but certainly not least, the Firefighter of the Year Award. As I mentioned earlier, this goes to somebody who has really risen above and shown what it truly means, as Sally talked about, to be a volunteer and a leader. And there's so many people that earn so much recognition this year. But there's one name that just stood out as somebody who went so far above and beyond in terms of responses to calls, taking on projects, taking on the day-to-day operations of the fire station. And this guy, this is going to give it away, but we, during the COVID days, obviously couldn't get together and do the things that we needed to do as far as training, fellowship, camaraderie. And when COVID sort of wrapped up, I think most fire departments found it a bit of a struggle to get back on track with training and compliance. And last year, I asked this young man to drop everything and get our training program back on track. And that's exactly what he did. He dropped everything, and he brought us back online with an extremely worthwhile and beneficial training program. There's more work to be done, but we did more training last year than we've done in a long time, and it was good training. We worked with the neighbors, we worked internally, we put together some procedures. And we built a chicken coop in the backyard, thank you for that. It's a ventilation prop, but it looks like a chicken coop. So now that everybody knows who's getting the award, I might as well just say it. Joe Delaire, firefighter.
I don't have a speech, so I'll be honest with you. This man lied to me. I feel completely put on the spot, but yeah, what else is right? Thank you. But I owe everything to my guys. They're what makes the department the departments. So thank you guys for believing in me. Here's to another good year.
That's more words than he says at a call. So calm and collected, which is what we want. That's great. Todd, you and Caleb and Jackson, I guess you guys want to show the shirts that you're going to get?
Yeah.
I'll explain what's going
Come on, Caleb.
Come on, Blake.
Come on, Blake.
Blake will show.
You got it.
So. They're not finished yet.
They're done tonight.
They'll be done tonight, so come to the station and we'll get them to you.
There you go.
See you at the end of the.
Can you pass them around so we can see them better?
Can I keep the blue one?
Here's the outside. There's no CSP in the scene.
All right. Chad, you want to say something? You want to? Oh, good. All right, so Chad and I were at an event last night. Hey, Chad and I were at an event last night, and one thing we heard about, and I can't phrase this right, but we talked about the we. And what we mean about the we is there's no fire commissioner. There's no fire commissioner. There's no one person. I'll wait till these guys are done. I'm not shy now. All right, well, Todd's getting ready. So last night we talked about the we. We were at an event last night, and one thing that somebody had mentioned, and it's true, in this fire department too, is that there's no commissioner that's above anybody, there's no chief officer, there's no any officer that's above anybody. It takes a team effort. And what they mean about the we is the fire chief, the commissioners, the town board, the village board, sometimes the coroner when things are really bad. Guess what? Those times happen, and they happen a lot this year, and the past 2 years. And it's nice to see Chad come down the road and get us out of there sometime. Tammy, Calvin on the county level, even the KC, Ross's Point, Moore's. So it's not just about one person, but it's about the we. And I think we as a team do a really good job. So.
Don't mind, we.
Want to say? Go ahead. Stand up.
So I want to, it's been 6 years now that I've been in this is my 6th year. And on more than one occasion, I've summoned you for help. We were in South Plattsburgh last night, and I can think of each and every time when I've had to call upon you, and I've never been told once. So I service, as you know, 14 towns, 3 incorporated villages in the city of Plattsburgh, and from time to time, probably 4 or 5 times a year, I have to call dispatch and ask for some assistance because there's something, we're in a tight spot, or we're upstairs or downstairs, and I've never been told no. So, I want to thank you all for making my life easy. Thank you very much.
Oral Parsons used to do it by himself, by the way. But call us if you need help.
It's hard to hold a candle.
Yeah. All right, you guys all know how this works. So Todd and Sally spent the last couple of days getting some prizes and blue tickets. Bottle of wine. Are we doing the trading thing?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you can either, once you get your ticket, you can keep it or trade it. So I think everybody's got a ticket. You got a blue ticket? Everybody's got one? It's kind of a fun game we started a few years ago, and we got a lot of great prizes. Todd made the ultimate sacrifice up to the Amish today and get a bunch of donuts and everything.
Even the balloons. Hey. Go get it back. I can get it.
You got it? Just give me your
Still
ticket.
claim it here. Go back and get it.
Pick a good one.
Hang on, this is what happens when they get old. I'll do the last 3 numbers, 8, 5, 7.
Bingo.
That's not fair.
I don't want it.
Really?
Somebody will steal it.
Sally's gonna keep it.
Eight, 2, 9.
829
No, is it yours or
in the kitchen.
yours? Give it to Sally, I'll take the wine.
What are we giving away this time?
This flowers right here.
Flowers right here.
Flowers.
808.
Flowers?
What flowers do you have? Do you want the flowers?
Flowers, hat?
The hat? They could have been Mother's Day. You got a Mother's Day? You could have been the Mother's Day. I got one outside.
Instacrate. These things are handier and keep off the function. 856.
Oh, Mary.
What do you want, Mary?
You want some wine? Big surprise. It'll be gone before she leaves.
I'm sorry, I got
838.
838.
Michelle, I got this. Or do you want flowers or a hat or other wine? Wine or grape?
Ooh. Left her more. Oh, she got that one.
816.
Gail.
Do you want Gail up this? Flowers?
Oh, that.
I got fireballs next. Fireball.
Fireball.
814.
You want this or something else? You want
You got a trade, Caleb.
Fireballs and flowers.
I think a nice Father's Day present in that fireball.
Speech I just made about how much you've grown up.
828.
828.
Another hat up next.
One and a half.
Eight, 837.
837.
Do you want the hat or something else?
You do? I
got
have
it.
839 and 840.
There's flowers, there's tools. There's fireball. Tools.
We got moonshine cherries.
Oh, there is?
Always a big seller.
Hang your deer on them.
You don't hang your deer on grass like that.
839.
839.
Cherries? The flowers?
Flowers.
No, no, you're not.
It all works out in the end.
We got a canister set
Walk
next.
or
Canister set.
They're getting around. Yeah, they're getting around. Come on, come on.
823.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Who's got you?
Genevieve.
It's a canister set. What, wrapping straps or?
I'm gonna lose those
So take it.
flowers. Yeah. Hopefully I'll take them from you. I'm gonna lose those flowers. Yeah. Maybe not.
Okay, we got flowers?
No. Oh, there's another one. Yeah. like this one.
797.
No, I like this one.
She killed flowers. Something else. I'll take
Oh,
flowers.
I love the red.
For now.
For now.
Do another one?
What do you got, Lori?
Another moonshine?
Come on, I want one.
We could always open it now. Moonshine is
793.
Old Smoky.
Me? I'll take the flowers.
Which one?
Mary's?
Mary's?
Sorry, Mary. She's gonna kill him anyway.
Betty, this is probably what you're getting for Mother's Day. Just saying.
800.
8?
Barely.
I don't know, she's pretty happy about it.
Another hat's up next.
Wait a minute.
You want that or something else?
Oh, no.
Oh, Christmas flowers.
Joke's on you, Mary drinks 2 bottles a night, so. I need a ride home, by the way.
Shane's got a band.
What's that?
Shane's got my band.
Okay, a hat.
849.
You want the block?
Purple flower.
All right. I don't know who's.
I know what one people.
And here you go.
It's a start.
You're gonna get a visit from the corner tonight. I'm gonna steal your flower. Well, now you gotta buy your Mother's Day present, Chad. Grab it.
That's sad.
841.
So glad it's still.
841. Patty.
An Instagram.
Those are nice.
I have 3 of them.
I got some Captain Morgan spicy rum.
833.
833.
You're not old enough. What else do you want? Flowers, which one? Purple, or do you want the red one? What?
Purple over here.
Who's got the purple? Oh, you got the purple. I did.
Well, that's not bad. No, it's not. Oh, lots of friends.
Klua? Oh, sorry. Yeah, Aqua.
806.
Jared.
What would you like? We got more flowers?
More than flowers.
I don't know. My luck is not good.
Flowers?
Flowers, nice purple flowers.
807.
Jackson, what do you want? What? Mike? Could have been John, you know.
Doctor's in now. Doctor, we get a part of the.
853.
853.
10 dollars away.
853. What do you want?
You get traded, Brian.
Get that one.
Look at his face.
We gotta open up the fire station, Brian. Make up your mind.
The cherry?
There you go. What do you got, Brian?
I got a hat.
The hat?
Another hat.
Seven, eight, nine.
789.
What do you want? It's a a hat?
I'll take purple flowers.
Which purple flowers, the first or the second?
Well, you gotta
They're
choose.
both in that
The first one's prettier. You want to see
There's one and two. Anthony has one and.
Purple over there. They're over there.
Well, Mike's got one. There you go, Mike.
A grill set.
803.
Judy,
Judy.
what do you want? The flower, you want the grill or you want the flowers?
shoot.
Flowers. Flowers. Which one?
Which ones?
Purple, right there. The red or the purple?
You got a grill set.
The purple.
You got a nice cooler?
You guys have a grill?
Hopefully they'll all get, they'll pick me next and just light them across the
It's
table.
gonna be historical. We'll never make these
Of course.
again.
Light them across the table, Judy.
Champlain Fire District.
Sorry, Lori.
Sorry.
Those are good coolers, by the way.
And they're nice and heavy and they keep things cold for me.
We use some camping.
802.
Judy again.
Calvin, do you want this?
It's up to her. She's the boss.
No, I'm not.
You're driving.
I got this.
Tick, 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 tick,
Quick, quick,
tick,
quick, quick,
tick,
quick,
tick, tick.
They're matching the flowers.
See this?
Take the other purple flower.
It's a nice cooler.
No, the other one can't
It's
flower.
heavy.
Keeps your beer cold.
Come on, come on.
I don't know, Calvin, you choose. I got
Calvin, choose.
The other
baby.
flowers. Flowers, Calvin.
choose.
We'll take, whoever we took those away from, we'll give them that. The grill set, the grill
Grill
set.
set?
Yeah.
Who's got the grill set?
Must have dried set.
There you go. See, it all works
I'd
out.
make them cook for that one.
802,
Yeah, I trust you, yeah.
Put your flowers in there.
That is a nice
Okay,
set.
Smirnoff.
Push it hard.
Can't see it.
That is a nice set.
Red, white, and blue.
They don't rust.
825.
Who's me?
flowers.
Which flowers? Them? Or them? Yeah.
She, which one? Them over there. The other ones.
Check your ID. Now. Oh my
I
God.
got some fireball.
It's got
Oh,
vodka.
fireball.
Fireball. That music should be playing for fireball.
826.
What?
826.
No.
Do you want this or something else? This is alcohol.
No.
Okay, what would you like?
There's some.
The other flowers you have
Just
those.
one.
Red one over there.
There's a
and
little bit of vodka. Put it on ice. There's some liquid.
Next one is flowers. Red flowers.
Eight, 4, 7.
Flowers.
I got a big chair.
Here, that's left.
It's like a big chair.
I'll do this.
822.
822.
42.
There you go.
On the cooler.
Mix it up. They haven't even bought it in the 40s. No? Yeah, we have one.
What's that? Jack Daniels
And flowers.
and a flower?
With a big flower.
Which will make you see big flowers?
Jack Daniels, chair.
815.
815. Andrea. Ratchet straps? Purple flowers.
Which one? There's purple there and purple over there.
Any one of them. Don't
No,
matter
you
to
gotta
me.
say.
You gotta pick,
You
Kelly.
gotta pick.
Andrea, you gotta pick.
That one.
I'll pick shades. Come on.
Oh.
Looks like Shane, you and I are gonna do that bottle.
The flower goes with it.
Probably the last one.
We ain't gonna have them long.
Everybody good? Okay. Everybody,
Peace be with you.
everybody, thank you guys, and thanks to the banquet committee, that great banquet. And stick around, we have Steve and Heidi. Jordan's Music Express, right?
Wait a minute,
Play all night long.
wait a minute, wait a minute. We're throwing this back in the pot
Oh, we're
here.
throwing this back in the pile.
All right.
To dry county.
811.
811.
It's alcohol. Red, white, and berry.
Paramedic juice.
Paramedic juice. Which flower?
Which one?
Yep.
Which one?
Right here, the red one.
There we go. Okay, we have a sound system here. Hey everybody, thanks a lot. And again, thanks for Todd, Sally, banquet committee. Good job everybody. Thank you.
Just to give you a little background, years ago, we found out that Todd loves women in white pants. Absolutely loves women in white pants. And it's been a joke for a few years that the auxiliary was going to get together and wear some white pants. So auxiliary,
Here, Todd, come sit right here for a minute.
yeah, show you, Todd.
Girls, come on over here, let's have white pants. We have another thing too. Todd also likes used pepperoni. I could not find a long skinny one, so we had to go with short and fat. Here you go, Todd. Let's sit around, Todd, so we can take a picture.
And I'll leave it to Todd if he wants to tell you why he loves women in white pants. You can ask him.
Big flowers.
We love you, Todd.
No, I know, right?
Yeah.
Now you gotta tell everybody you went to